Good morning, Karthik.
Very good morning.
And welcome to the Auroville Radio.
Thank you.
And thank you for the talk on Saturday. Yes, for those who were not there, sorry for them to miss it, they can listen to the recording. But can you share a little bit about yourself? Who are you? How did you manage to get across with Auroville and the ideas?
Well, I think I came to Auroville the first time in 2007 after having read some works of Aurobindo, and it sort of aligned with some of the ideas that I had, because I used to be in the open source software movement, and it was about social justice, it was about sharing, it was about some of these, fundamental principles, these 12 key principles that the mother in Aurobindo talks about. And so I was fascinated by the great vision of these remarkable people. And I thought I would come and, visit Auroville. So I came here the first time in 2007, then I went away. I didn't come after that for 7 years. And then last year I came, with a little bit more gray hair in my forehead, I was able to grasp much more of what was really going on, and the importance of a township like Auroville for the future of humanity, some of the vision, some of the values, and its relevance, and I want to learn more. And so it's just been it's been very magnetic for me. It's been a strong attraction.
By your field of work and study and research, and now you are also preparing the PhD, is sociology, and it's about development. And Saturday we heard some thoughts, actually overview, on centralization and decentralization and what actually shaped the courses of this movement. So how do you see that? I mean, where Auroville fits into this picture?
For me, Auroville is a great example of decentralization. I mean, it's an example of how, if people are left alone, they're able to design their own, community. They're able to sort of deal with their own lives, deal with of course, there's a certain amount of centralization here. The centralization being the great vision of Auroville, the, fundamental values of the mother and Sri Aurobindo, and which is a uniting force between the different ideologies within Auroville. But in essence, Auroville for me is a great example of a community that is trying to sort of get to the next level of evolution with the principles of decentralization, social justice, common good, a group of people who really care about humanity as a whole. So for me, I think it really fits into my agenda of trying to understand this big wave of decentralization that's going on in the world.
It's quite many attempts, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at Europe right now, I mean, there's BlaBlaCar in Italy, there's Zipcar in France. So people are sharing more. As you go from 7 billion people on the planet to 10 billion people, we do not have to compete and fight for resources like the old times. We just have to be smart and share. If we share our houses, if we share our cars, if we share our resources with other people,
that's enough for everybody.
That's enough for everybody, and you don't have to go to wars with another civilization, and then, and for your own growth. So,
but this kind of decentralization and to sharing, I think, at least the way I see it, consciousness play a big role. That's one thing, and how to organize it, and are we ready to really move that way? And then on the other side, we still got this measly 2% of population who actually holds all the assets. So how we can move through this?
I think it's a very interesting question that you asked. I think we are, as you said, the consciousness is evolving. The IQ of the world is doubling because of the internet. The amount of information that is being produced now is much more than what was being produced in the last 5,000 years. The information is doubling every 6 months. So, and all of this humanity is plugged into the singular consciousness called the internet. And that is, there's this technological consciousness. And it is scary in a way, because, this knowledge can be used for the good things and for the bad things as well. And we've seen both sides of it. More good because, it is in innate nature.
People are waking up, yeah.
Exactly. And they're able to sort of realize the concept of Advaita, the interconnectedness of the human consciousness. We're all part of the same source. We're all part of the same spirit. And when we realize that, sharing becomes easy. We also evolved collectively towards taking humanity to the next level. As far as this 2% is concerned, I think, they probably had a vision for humanity, and they